to another episode of the Total R&B podcast, the first one of the new year in 2023. And I'm excited because I have a new guest with me today. She is a singer, she is a songwriter, she is a producer coming from Chino Hills, California, and she's with us today. Welcome to the podcast, Brandy Haze.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing? Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to finally be able to speak with you. I've been following your music, so I'm excited for my audience to learn about what you're doing, tap into your music, and just learn about who Brandy Hayes is.
Yes.
So, when I start this podcast, I always ask the same question. So, if you could tell me from this question, what is your first memory of R&B music?
Oh, my first memory. So, my mom used to have a Babyface Christmas tape cassette like in her car at all times, and she would always put it on. So like in the middle of July we'd be listening to Babyface Christmas album,
Wow.
and that's like my first memory.
That's so funny, and it's crazy that it's a Christmas album.
Yeah, why? I don't know. I
I
don't
don't
know.
That's wild to me, but I love Babyface, like, his voice is amazing, his writing,
I
like,
know.
is amazing.
Phenomenal.
Like, even the last album he just put out was super dope, like, he hasn't lost it at all.
At all.
Is that somebody you would wanna work with?
Oh yeah, no. I would love to work with Babyface, but I feel like I don't know, like Babyface, I don't know if that's someone you work with or someone you just listen to.
Right?
I'm here to take all advice, all songs, everything.
But he seems like such a humble dude that
Yeah.
even though you just wanna listen and soak in, I think he also wants to learn from the people that he works with.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's an amazing person, an amazing writer still today.
Mhm. Definitely. So, you're from Chino Hills, California. I'm here in Montreal, Canada, so I don't know much about California. Like, when people automatically say California, they think about Los Angeles, of course, because that's, like, the main place, or some of us, we know about, like, Oakland, California because of the history that's there. So what can you tell us about Chino Hills?
Oh. So, I mean, it's like the suburbs.
Mhm.
So, it's just kind of like the outskirts of LA. Um, I mean, I live in LA now.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like too much to do growing up. It wasn't crazy. It was like any suburban place. You go to like the mall or the movies.
Mhm. So, in order for someone to have a career such as what you're doing, you would say you would have to move out of Chino Hills? Like
Yeah, probably. I would suggest it. Like you
Yeah.
don't have to, but
Mhm.
like I would suggest it because LA is where like all the people are.
Okay. And you've been singing since I think I read since you were, like, 2 years old?
Yeah, I've always told my parents this is what I was gonna do. I've always been singing, and it's something I've always loved to do.
So then what is I heard I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, I could be the wrong thing, but, like, it's Sunshine Generation?
Ha, yes. That was like our group at school. Like they had like a little school group, and they had all of us preschoolers in it, and it was called Sunshine Generation.
Okay, so you guys would do, like, shows and stuff
Yeah,
yearly?
and probably not like traveling, but like
Mhm.
probably just at the school or something. But it had like a whole name, and it was like a whole thing. I don't know, but I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, but that's dope. So is that where you found your love of maybe performing, or it was from before that?
Um, it was probably. I mean, I have like videotapes like of me at like 2 years old, like singing, and I'm like, I'm going to sing. And so I don't know if it was from that, or I just always like had this love for singing.
Oh, okay. And when did you feel like, okay, I'm not gonna do this as like a hobby or, anything like that. Like I'm gonna take this serious, like this is gonna be my career. When did you make that decision?
Right after college, when I had my first job,
Mhm,
um, I had like gotten into the studio a couple months after, and I didn't know that like anyone could book studio time. Just growing up, the way my it was presented to me, it was kind of like something that was exclusive.
mhm.
But when I got out of college, I realized like, oh no, this is definitely obtainable.
Okay, and then from there, you knew, like, "This is it. This is what I wanna
Yeah.
do. No 9 to 5. I'm a singer, songwriter, and all the things."
Well, I mean, like, sometimes 9 to 5s get you through, or if it's not a 9 to 5, it's some other sort of like side hustle. You know what I mean? But
Mhm,
like, I definitely knew like this is the end goal.
definitely. And how has been the transition of living in LA?
I absolutely love it. I love living in LA. It's just so much more to do, so many more people, so many more like places that are undiscovered still to me now.
Mhm. Have you met anybody yet that you're, like, shocked that you were able to, like, actually meet them?
Um, I'm not really like I'm not too shocked these days, but like I do remember meeting um Lorianne, and I just remember seeing her from Making the Band when she would do this. She was the boom cat, boom boom cat.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I don't know why it just made me so emotional to see her. Like that was my childhood. I was just like I dreamt of meeting her, I guess, one day,
Mhm.
and when I met her, I was just so emotional. But other than that, usually it's like you see so many people out here, you get used to it.
Yeah, it's like a everyday type of thing.
Yeah, it's like an everyday thing.
Alright. I love that. I love how you basically now you're betting on yourself, you're going after your dreams, and something that you do is you pretty much do it all yourself, right? So,
Yeah.
your songwriting, how did you get into that?
So when I got my first job, it was in New Jersey, and then when I decided, like, no, I'm gonna fully take music serious. I'm gonna move back out to Los Angeles. I'm gonna do music. I thought that like people were just gonna write songs for me, and then like you're gonna be famous, and that's how that works. But like that's not how that works. So it was like right after college, when I moved back from having like my first job, I was like, oh, I have to learn how to do this on my own. And so from there, I've just been like writing and writing all the time.
Oh, wow. So, have you done, sorry, any, like, songwriting, like, boot camps or anything like that?
Yeah, I've been to a few camps. I've like collaborated with a few people. I've gotten to work in the room with a few people. But for me, I think like my music in my artistry is the most important to me. So I try to like focus on me now.
Mhm. Alright, and then you, released here, um, Where We Left Off in
Yes.
2022. So, dope project.
Thank
I
you.
really, really love it. I love how it starts too, like, the first song, I was like, "This is so dope." But let the people know what it's about.
Yeah, so it's just like a self journey about love and relationships. It's kind of like leading from my project Unfortunate.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like where we left off in like my love life from there. I often write from, a true experience. So it's kind of like just taking place like what's happened after that. Um and just like all things revolving around love. I mean, love is the goal for most of us.
No, definitely. And is that hard to be vulnerable, to put your, like, life experiences out there for the world to, listen to?
I think it's hard, but I think I've gotten to the point where it's more like therapeutic and also just relatable because there's so many people going through it.
No, definitely. It is definitely relatable. So, yeah. Like I said, I did enjoy the project. Is there anybody, like the producers that you worked with, was it were there people that you worked with previously, or was this like an all new team that you worked with?
um, I think like I had worked with a few of the producers previously in just different aspects, but I really appreciate the ones that have worked with me. And like White Noise was on the first one, and also Olivia helped write it as well, and Amber Olivia. And I just like I love, like, some of these people have also just become my friends, and
Mhm.
so it's so like exciting working with friends and stuff. I love it.
Okay, and you also, I read too that you come up with like the treatments for your videos.
Yeah, I come up with a lot of the treatments for my videos, and like sometimes, occasionally, I'll have like a friend help me. Um, but for the most part, I'm like directing, and I got to be everything. I edit, I caption, I have to
So
do.
how is that wearing all those different hats while like filming the video?
I mean, it's like some of it is harder, like, it makes things move a little slower, but then I think of it like I always get the cut that I want. I always get the takes that I want. I always am like, "Oh, I feel like I look the best." So it's like no matter what anyone says, I'm like, "Oh no, this is the best. This is the best of the best."
No, I think that's so good because a lot of times too, you'll see like artists like they'll have like interviews where they'll look back on some of their videos and be like, "Oh, I hated this video because
Yeah.
what I was wearing or my hair or they caught a bad angle." So at least you won't have any of those problems because you
Exactly.
were able to just get everything that you needed to have that perfect video for yourself.
Exactly.
That is dope. And then speaking of, because I see a lot on Twitter, like they're asking like, what's the perfect, R&B song or what have you. So you making your own videos, looking back at videos that you watched maybe as a kid, what is a video that was like perfect to you, a music video?
I would say Tony Braxton. He wasn't man enough for me. I love that video. I
That was
love.
that was a good one. I like that video too. There was a lot of good videos back then too.
Yeah, but the budgets were
Yeah, that's
high.
what I was gonna say. They had, like, a huge budget to make the videos, but the videos were
Exactly.
super dope back then, especially, like, when you think about, like, what Missy Elliott did and Busta Rhymes, like and Michael Jackson, like, it's crazy.
Now I feel like the only videos with that type of budget are like K-pop. Like they have crazy
Yeah,
videos.
that is so true. Wow, I didn't think about that. That is so, so true. Okay, so, you had your project, it came out doing well. So, what do you have next for us in 2023 that you could reveal?
Um, so I want to do a lot of like live video performances. I want to do music videos for this last project. I'm definitely doing some videos to drop this spring, and yeah, hopefully some new music and some collabs.
Is there any like collabs that you have on your wish list? Like anybody that you would love to like collaborate with? Maybe not even on your project, maybe on their projects too.
Well, my dream collab will always be Frank Ocean. But
Wait, so then are you going to Coachella?
oh my gosh, yes, I have to. I'm like, I don't even have my ticket yet, but I'm telling you, like,
Some
I'm
way
going.
somehow you'll be.
I was like, I will get this ticket or buy it off someone or sell a kidney. I don't know, but we got to see Frank Ocean.
But that's what I said because I looked at the lineup and I'm like, it's okay, but I feel like they're gonna get their money just because they have Frank Ocean,
Oh
who
yeah,
has like disappeared on us for years, and we've been waiting
I'm
for.
definitely a cult fan. Like,
No,
definitely.
there's so many people that are just like diehard fans, so that's why I'm like, okay, I know this is just gonna sell out only because Frank is there.
I know, I know. I'm like, if I can weasel my way in the back somehow, I'm going to.
You knew, but you never know. I mean, that could be your chance to shoot your shot, get your collab some way, somehow. So I'm rooting for you.
Okay.
So I'll be following on social media to see if you made it to Coachella and what's happening.
Yes,
Definitely. But that would be super dope if you got a collab with Frank.
I know. One day, I'm sure one day it'll happen.
Definitely. You got to put it out there, got to work towards it. It will happen. It will definitely happen. So, okay, so we have performances, we have more music videos that are coming. Is there a song, like it doesn't have to be on the latest project, but is there a song that you've put out on even on a previous project that you're excited to like maybe perform live for your fans?
Mhm. I love performing a song called No Reply. It was on my
Mhm.
project Unfortunate. I love that song. I love performing it. Um, and then I definitely want to do a live edition of Voodoo on Silhouette too. So yeah.
And how's that coming up with your like live performances? So is that something that you're the head on, or do you have like a team that helps you out with that as well?
No, it's usually just me, you know. I'll probably figure out how many instruments and try and call some people, you know, that
Mhm.
play. Um, but yeah, everything for now is all me.
Ah, I love it. You have control of everything, all your narrative, how you look, everything. It's all you. So I think that is something that's really dope. I know it's a lot of work.
Right.
That's another thing because a lot of people they do like the whole like independent artists, wave that we're going through, which is great because I want, artists to make sure that they're getting paid correctly,
Right.
not taken advantage of, but I know that it is a lot of work, especially when you're starting out. So,
Yeah, it's work, but you know, it pays off at the end.
no, definitely because I find you're more fulfilled with like the final outcome of everything. So,
Exactly.
I think that's dope too. And then also to learning, like if there are any errors or mistakes that you find, like I think it's easier to grasp and then make those corrections right away.
Exactly. No,
So,
you're exactly right.
so also I want to talk about too because there's been a lot of talk about award shows and categories. So your music, even though like we'll say it's R&B, has elements of trap, it has elements of pop in it. Like there's a lot of different things that come into Brandy Hayes's music. So would you say that you are like if you are being nominated for an award, would you be okay in the R&B category? And do you think award shows need to kind of like make better decisions when putting artists in categories?
I would be okay being in the R&B category. I mean, R&B is definitely coming back
Mhm.
right now, like stronger than ever. But I definitely yeah, it's I think like it's so hard no matter who you are now to be put in a genre cuz everyone is just kind of breaking the quote unquote rules of the typical, and so now it's kind of like we're just making music.
No, definitely. And trying new things too, right? I
Exactly.
think that happens a lot. But I do find sometimes when I do see some people in certain categories, I'm just like, this doesn't make sense, or
It's
it makes
not.
it maybe unfair to the other people in the category. That's what happens sometimes, but yeah, for
Yeah.
the most part. Also want to ask, because we talked about collaborations with artists, are there any producers you would wanna collaborate with besides, like, Babyface?
Hmm. Kenny Beats.
Mhm.
I don't know if you're familiar, but I love Kenny Beats. And I hope that one day that's a collaboration.
You never know. Gotta put everything out there.
Exactly.
Never know. I love that. Okay, so where can people listen to your music and follow you so we could keep up to date? Because I have a feeling there's a lot that's going to be going on this year, and we
Yeah.
got to stay tapped in.
Yeah, people can follow me on Instagram at Brandy Haze, Brandy with the Y, Haze. SoundCloud Brandy Haze, YouTube at the Brandy Haze, and at the Brandy Haze on TikTok. And yeah, you can find me on Spotify, Apple Music, all of that under Brandy Haze.
I love that. So before I wrap up this interview, because I don't want to take too much of your time, we are going to play some R&B trivia.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you a few questions. We'll see how well you do. The questions are fairly easy,
Okay.
so it shouldn't be too bad.
I'm
So
scared.
we'll Okay, so if you're ready, we'll go
Yeah.
with question 1. So these songs, BS, Sativa, and While We're Young, are songs by which LA native? Is it Tinashe, Mila J, Sid, or Janae Aiko?
Janae
Correct. Correct. All right. Question two. This singer from Philadelphia won a Grammy for her EP, Hotels. Is it Jasmine Sullivan, Erica Badu, Jill Scott, or Tidra Moses?
Jasmine Sullivan.
That is correct. All right. Question three. The singer, her, does her name stand for having everything revealed? Is that true or false?
Ooh. I'm gonna say false.
No.
Oh,
No, it's true. It stands for having everything revealed.
that's so crazy. I did not even know that.
Yeah, I know. I just learned that too, actually.
Right? Like I never got that memo.
Yeah, no, I didn't know what the acronym was for. Okay, question four. Which is not a song by Destiny's Child?
Mm.
Is it Survivor, Bills, No Scrubs, or Brown Eyes?
It is no scrubs.
That is correct. All right, question five. Chris Brown's latest album, is it called Breezy? True or false?
True.
That is correct.
Yay.
All right. So just one incorrect out of the five questions.
Not too bad. Not too
That is
bad.
not too bad. So you know your R&B. So thank you so much for playing R&B trivia.
Of course.
Definitely. And so, yeah, so you let us know where to follow you. We're going to keep up with everything that's happening. I want to say congratulations on doing all the things that you've done so far and doing them basically on your own, which is pretty amazing. So, I look forward to everything that you have coming up. Uh, Total R&B is definitely here when you have something to promote. And
Yes.
yeah, if you want to leave us with any last words.
Um, my last words would be hard work pays off.
Definitely, because we're seeing it live with everything that
Yes,
you're doing. So, thank you so much, Brandy, for taking time out of your day to like sit here and talk to me. I really do
of
appreciate it.
course.
And everybody who's listening and watching, this is the Total R&B podcast. My name is Lorena. You can follow me at total.rnb on Instagram. We are a bi-weekly podcast, so we will be back in 2 weeks with a brand new interview.